So now we're going to talk about randomization using timing elements, and we'll talk about randomization within blocks and randomization across blocks, although I will probably cut those into two videos just to make this shorter, because it takes my computer a really long time to render these. So we're going to start with randomization within a block. So let's say you wanted to present, and several people have asked me how to do this, a subset of a certain number of items. So let's say I wrote 20 multiple choice items that were associated with maybe my chapter 1 content. And I wanted to present a random subset of 10 of those items, for instance, or 5 out of 10 items, or whatever number of items you're thinking about. So we're going to look at that example on this page here. So on this page, I have 2 items plus my timing item. So if I wanted to present randomly one of these 2 items to my students, what I would do is use the block options feature. So I would go click the block options button and I would click question randomization. So one of the things you can see, the first thing that Qualtrics is giving me is it's giving me a warning saying you have timing items in here, so be careful. Now, if you simply want to present all of the items on that page using the same timer, what you could do is you could click randomize the order of all questions and click the save button, and that would simply present these in a random order. It wouldn't, people, assuming I turn off the countdown timer, which would be good practice, people would see this randomized here, these items in random order, on the same page, but the countdown timer would be randomized within them and it wouldn't matter, it would be just fine. But that's not what I want to do. I want to present a subset of these items. So I'm going to go back, and instead of clicking randomize the order of all questions, I'm going to click advanced randomization. And so what I have in here is a timing question. This might be called timing, and in fact it is because I've already randomized it once, but it might show up as a question ID, which would be some funny text. That's your timing question. So the 2 items that I want to select one of are these 2, and I want to keep the timing item. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click my 2 content questions. I'm going to move them over into this box that says random subset, and I'm going to randomly insert 1 question from that list. Now, once I click out of that box, what you can see is that the random subset here showed up on my page, and I'm going to just put it above my timing item. I can also tick this box that says evenly present elements, which means that it will randomly select this one, it will randomly present this one about as often as it presents this one, so it kind of gives people, it keeps a sort of tally of the number of questions that have yet to be presented and about how many times each question has gone, and it tries to make those, reasonably speaking, even, and it's pretty good at doing that. So the other thing you need to do here is you need to tell Qualtrics how many items you want to present on a page. So I'm presenting 1 item from this list plus my timing item. So that makes 2 questions on each page. Then I click the save button. And what that will do is it will cause randomization to happen on this page where it presents 1 of these 2 items plus my timing item. So let's just look at what that looks like in the preview window. So I type in my name, I type in my student ID, and then I click next. And what you can see is it's given me 1 of my items, randomizing the order of my response choices. Extremely bored children is the symptom I've been experiencing recently. But the World Health Organization really thinks that, you know, some of these other ones might be more important. And so now it's clicked into another block, but I'm not going to worry about that for now. So basically, if you're using these timing items, that's kind of how to get them to work, but it's always a good idea if you set up timing where you're using block randomization within a page. It's always a good idea to make sure that you're doing this in a way that you preview it before you show it to students, just to make sure that everything is working the way you expect it to be working.